Alright guys, I am back with my review of WWE's Friday Night Smackdown for December 27th, 2013. And I actually already recorded this video when I was in Texas, but I watched it back and the audio is all distorted. My voice changes throughout the video. I don't know what the hell's up with that. But this one starts off with the Usos versus the Wyatts. It wasn't anything special at all, really. Luke Harper hits the clothesline, Rowan hits the splash on one of the Usos for the win. And I don't know if I mentioned this in last week's SmackDown review, but they're actually trying to give the Wyatts some backstory. And they said that Luke Harper was a trucker. That's the big storyline they have for him. He was a trucker and he lost his way or something like that, and he found Bray Wyatt. And that's how he joined the Wyatt family. So they're trying to give him some backstory, and that's Luke Harper's. He was a trucker. That's about it. Then John Cena comes out. He tries to hype the crowd up. He talks about New Year's resolutions, and he says he wants a rematch against Randy Orton for the title tonight. Like that's going to happen. And the Shield comes out. Big E, Langston, and Mark Henry run down to help Cena fight them off. And then Kane comes out and says that tonight it's going to be the Shield in one-on-one matches, which I was actually happy about because it's different than the typical six-man tag match they've been doing. And it's going to be Rollins versus Cena, Ambrose versus Big E, and Reigns versus Mark Henry. Then backstage, Randy Orton is cutting a promo. He's talking about how he's going to retire as the champion and induct himself into the Hall of Fame. Dolph Ziggler comes up and says he's the guy who's going to shut Orton up. And then Kane says, "Fellas, settle this in the ring." And he looks at Orton and says, "In the ring, you can do whatever you want to him." Then it's Cody Rhodes versus Cesaro. This was okay. Jack Swagger distracts Cody Rhodes and Cesaro rolls him up for the win. I moved my couch and now it's like driving me crazy. It looks like everything's going down. But anyways, we get the Primetime Players versus Rybaxel. And they've done nothing to build up Rybaxel. The only thing they've done is JBL will say, "That's a stupid name." Cole says, "Well, you came up with it." And then JBL says, "I was kidding." They say that shit every single time these guys have a match. That's the only thing they've done with Rybaxel. But Darren Young gets a roll-up on Curtis Axel for the win. Then it's Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler, which was good. A little boring in the beginning, though, to be honest with you. Orton hits the RKO for the win, and afterwards he just beats the crap out of Dolph, throws him into the stairs, the table, the ring post, and then the Shield cuts a promo on their opponents. It's Daniel Bryan versus Damian Sandow, and Bryan wins with the flying knee, and afterwards the Bray Wyatt family comes out, and Bray Wyatt cuts a promo on Daniel Bryan and says he's a god. Then Cena, Mark Henry, and Big E come out to face the Shield. They're going to do the one-on-one matches, and everybody's going to be at ringside. And I actually liked how Mark Henry came out, and they were playing his music, and he said, "It ain't just music, somebody's going to get their ass kicked." That was awesome. But the first match is Ambrose versus Big E, and this was actually pretty short. Big E hits the big ending for the win, and then it's Mark Henry versus Roman Reigns, and Reigns hits the spear on Henry for the win. So the main event is Seth Rollins versus Cena, and this was a good match here. Cena did his best to make Seth Rollins look really strong out there, and my only problem with that is Cena kicks out of everything, and he's beaten everybody. So for him to be out there selling for Seth Rollins just looks silly. It looks ridiculous, like that's actually going to beat Cena, come on. So of course you know he's going to kick out of everything. But he beats Rollins with the AA, and there was some fighting going on with Henry, Big E, and the rest of the Shield members, and that was the end of the show. And I have to say this was an average show, close to being below average for me, just because everything else was pretty boring. I mean, you had a decent match with Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler, but there was a lot of boring stuff on this show. But I will give him credit for doing the one-on-one matchups with the Shield instead of the typical tag match. But anyways, that's my review Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on the show in the comments, and thanks for watching.